one courageous decision, one decision, right, that makes you so uncomfortable, that is not your comfort space, something that you think is impossible, that is what I call a courageous decision. So one courageous decision can make infinite waves of impact. Coming from 19 years of working in corporate industry, jumping onto an entrepreneurial firm, everybody thought I was crazy. Right? Everybody thought, "What are you doing? You have it's a comfort zone. We have enough money there. Why not?" But I always felt throughout my career that if you are in a comfort zone, something is really wrong. So I made that effort. So when ripple effect came to my mind, I said, yes, I do have made a lot of ripples in my life. So let's talk about what does it mean to me, right? So unpacking it for you all a little bit, what does ripple effect mean to you? This is the question you all need to ask yourself. What does it mean to you, right? There are definitions, you can Google it, yes. But what does it mean to you? I call it, and I'm a physics student, I love science, I call it a deterministic law of the universe. People say things are impossible, but I see the ripple effect is a core theme and philosophy that everything is possible, right? But it needs that one courageous decision, one ripple. I'm a science student, so I went deep into ripple effect. These are images from Lorentz attractor. Edward Lorentz was a scientist who actually found the chaos theory or the butterfly effect or the ripple theme. These are images from an experiment he did on multiple possibilities. What you see on the board is basically probabilities. And these were infinite. These were run for years in the labs. And you can see it is in the shape of a butterfly, if not almost a butterfly. What this tells us is there are innumerable opportunities that we all get in our lives. We have to make that one courageous decision, that one big ripple. We are able to travel to Mars, right? We are going to Mars very soon. We are so advanced in our technology. But what bothers me is this. Being an immigrant coming from India, I love this country. I want to do greater things for this country. So I've embarked on this journey. I call it a social citizen. Yes, I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur. We have to make money, we have to pay our bills. But what is my contribution to the world? I want to stand up. So I'm starting to think about core problems. And these are hard questions. Healthcare. And we're talking about specific problems. Approximately 24% of 65 plus year old in Dallas are uninsured. That says a lot. Think about being uninsured, and this is 65 plus. That's a problem to solve. Housing affordability. Dallas's housing went 60% up since 2020. Like how is that possible? Right? Nobody keeps a control of that. That's a hard question. Why is that 60% higher? Why is that not affordable? Talk about employment and job security. 12,000 families in Dallas Fort Worth live on what we call emergency housing vouchers. Think about it, 12,000 families struggling to manage it. That's a problem to solve. Why are they having these vouchers? Why can't they live normally? Economy, equity and equality. Equity, to me, is the most important thing. It's about giving opportunity, equal opportunity for everyone, irrespective of where they came from. And this country gave me that opportunity, irrespective of where I came from, irrespective of my color. And that's why I want to make sure I give back to this country. In the economy world, we are really struggling. Look at that. The federal poverty level for 2026 is $15,960. We all know how less that money is. So what I'm trying to say is, we create a ripple. It does take a long time to see the effects, but you got to start somewhere. And as a social citizen, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who loves this country, I want to make this difference. And I'm here to tell you all that pick up this one simple problem and start running behind it. You have made a career for yourself. You're working for yourself, most importantly. Now, comfort zone, like I said, is the biggest issue, right? And these are the four things that I had and I overcame: fear of failure, complacency, risk averse, and complaint. Do none of this and you'll be successful, I'm sure. So make mistakes, don't repeat them. And I made all the mistakes in the world. I learned a lot from it. Navigating challenges is quite important too. And it needs a certain, you know, framework as well to how you can navigate challenges. Talking about fail fast. I'm a FAFO person. Try it, click that button. You will know if it works or not. Be proactive. Be ahead of yourself. When I saw Gen AI, and I'm looking forward to the Gen AI speech, I'm looking forward to being ahead of my game. So you all need to embrace the technology to be ahead. So be proactive. Be a risk taker. Make that change. Stand out in a crowd. It will make a huge difference for you, for your loved ones, for the community you are in. And be your leader, right? I love it up. Like, just own it up. Blame nobody. You own it, right? You own that ripple. You make that stone fall first. Then you catch on the ripple. Four things, and I'll summarize. Four things to be able to create your next ripple, right? Be yourself. I realize I tried to be somebody in my career for 19 years. And I realize the best of my version is the best of myself. So authenticity is so important. You are your best when you're yourself. And that's the most creative part humans come with. We are all unique. So be authentic. Ask questions. Remember the 4 questions I asked? I thought about it last night. We have 1,000 questions like that. The power of why is huge. Ask questions. Be a problem solver. We don't complain, we solve problems. We are innate problem solvers. We have to realize that. We have to get that out of our body. And be a value add. I keep telling to all of my friends here, I keep telling to my friends, tell them, like, we got to add value in whatever we do. Think about what difference you're making. You're coming here, you're hearing a speech, you're giving a speech. What is the value? How can this make a difference? That will make you prepared. That will ensure that you create the next ripple. I promise you, right? If I can, you definitely can. I can tell you, I've come from really difficult places to where I stand today. But if I can, you totally can. Okay? And please drop your stone today. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Drop your stone today. Thank you so much.